Welcome! Today, we're going on a journey, tracing an explorer's path to truth. This is all inspired by the timeless ideas surrounding a figure known as the Grand Pontiff. We're going to break down how we build our beliefs, how we can search for what's true, and, maybe most importantly, how to balance all the tools we have for finding it.
So let's just start with the biggest question of all, the one that's really at the heart of this whole thing. How do we know what's true, and what do we choose to believe? Now, this isn't just some abstract philosophical thought experiment. The answer to this really shapes everything in our lives, from the small choices we make every day to our deepest sense of who we are.
You know, every great exploration needs a map. And on that map, there's always a little dot that says, "You are here." Well, for our journey, that starting point, that little dot, is our own set of beliefs. They are the lens we start with, the one through which we see everything else.
So, what exactly is a belief system? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like your personal operating system. You know, the software that runs your computer or your phone. It's this whole framework of ideas and attitudes that's kind of running in the background all the time, shaping how you see reality and guiding the choices you make, often without you even realizing it.
So where does this operating system even come from? Well, it's not like it gets downloaded all at once. It's built, piece by piece, over time. It's influenced by the culture we grow up in. It's shaped by our own unique personal experiences, and it's programmed by what we're taught directly, by our families, our schools, and our communities.
And this brings us to a really crucial point. For any true explorer, the first step isn't about going out and collecting more beliefs. It's actually about turning inward and taking a hard look at the ones you already have. See, a true seeker doesn't just blindly run their programming. They study it, they try to understand it, and they have the courage to actually question it.
Okay, so once we're aware of our own beliefs, our own starting point, we can finally begin the quest in earnest. And this isn't some passive thing where you just wait for answers to appear. It's an active, and yeah, sometimes really challenging, exploration into this vast landscape we call truth.
And right away, we hit a pretty profound challenge. This quest for truth. It's not like looking for a single hidden treasure chest. It's way more complex. Truth can look completely different depending on your viewpoint or tradition. And the idea that any one system, any single map holds all the answers, well, that's just a dead end.
So, how do we navigate this complicated landscape? I mean, every explorer needs a toolkit, right? For this journey, our kit comes with 3 really powerful and really distinct paths to understanding. So here are our tools. First, you've got religion, which is really rooted in faith and tradition. Then there's philosophy, which uses logic and deep inquiry to wrestle with the big questions. And finally, we have reason, which is our tool for sharp, critical, analytical thinking. Each one has its own unique strength, its own way of looking at the world.
And this, right here, this might be the most important message of all. Way too often, people treat these paths like they're rivals, like you have to choose one over the others. But a wise explorer, they understand that these are complementary. They're different lenses. Faith gives us meaning, philosophy gives us structure, and reason gives us clarity. And when you use them together, you get a much richer, much more complete picture of reality.
But you know, having the best tools in the world isn't enough. The most critical piece of equipment you have is internal. It's the explorer's compass. It's the mindset that guides you through the entire journey.
And what we see here is a really stark choice. On one side, you have dogmatism. That's rigid thinking, blind acceptance, a total refusal to question anything. It's a dead end. But on the other side, you have open-mindedness, a willingness to learn, to question your own assumptions, to always seek more clarity. That is the mindset of a true explorer.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means building these qualities. It means learning to listen without immediately judging. It's trying to actually understand an idea before you criticize it. It's genuinely accepting that there are tons of different ways of thinking out there. And maybe the hardest one, valuing the messy journey of gaining wisdom more than the comfortable feeling of being certain.
All right, we have our starting point, we have our tools, and we have our compass. But where are we actually going? What's the destination? What's the ultimate goal of all this exploring?
See, the end goal isn't just to fill your head with facts and information. That's just knowledge. The real prize is a deeper understanding. It's a kind of wisdom that only comes from real, quiet reflection and from the hard work of weaving all these different ideas together into something that makes sense for you.
This really shows that understanding isn't some final destination you arrive at. It's a cycle,
a process that never really stops. We explore something new, we learn from it, we take time to reflect on it, and then we integrate it into our worldview. And guess what? That new worldview just becomes the starting point for the next exploration. The journey never ends.
So let's just quickly recap the key landmarks from our journey today. First, it all starts by realizing our beliefs literally shape how we see the world. Second, truth isn't something you just find, it's something you have to explore and reflect on. To do that, we use the interconnected tools of religion, philosophy, and reason, which means we have to be tolerant of different ways of thinking. And all of this is guided by open-mindedness, because that's the only path to higher knowledge.
And so, we end right back where we started, with a question. But this time, it's directed at you. This whole journey, this entire path of the explorer, it really all hinges on your answer to this one question. Are you willing to examine the map you've been given, and maybe, just maybe, have the courage to draw a new one for yourself? The exploration is all yours.